Yo, what's
We're
up?
back.
Yes. Hey, we got one for you to think today. Check it out. We're going to title this one, Who is the Best Lawyer? The white lawyer, the Jewish lawyer, the black lawyer, the Hispanic lawyer. Let's keep it simple. The white lawyer, the Jewish lawyer, the black lawyer. Who's the best lawyer? See, when you ask that question to the average person, it is such a quintessential answer that most people think and give. And as always, you know I love to give y'all a word of the day, so that's a rather lengthy one. It's called quintessential. But you know what the word quintessential means? It just simply means typical.
Typical.
Let me use it in a quick sentence for you. You're like, man, that was such a quintessential answer you gave on that. That was such a typical, now let me replace quintessential. That was such a typical answer you gave on that. Typical. All right, so if I ask you, let's start with J-Lo here. If I ask you, I said, who do you think is the best lawyer with dealing with your private affairs or your personal affairs? Who do you think the best, especially if your life is on the line? You know what I'm saying? And I said, who, and you had to get a lawyer. Who do you think would be the best lawyer? That white lawyer, the Jewish lawyer, or that black lawyer? Who do you think?
And this is just based off color.
Yeah, and based on quintessential society.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the white lawyer.
And why? Why?
I'm gonna go with the white lawyer because I feel like typically in this system,
Quintessentially.
in this system,
Yes.
that the white man is over the black man in the system.
Okay.
So.
Why? And I don't mean to sound like that typical little kid. You know how the typical kid, everything is, but why? But why? But why? But the reason I gotta say that because we want to get down to why you came to that conclusion. So
Systematic oppression.
you're right. That basically sums it up. You're right. The systemic system that is ran systematically.
Which is
By
true, not an opinion.
white man.
Yeah, and they two different words, but relatively mean the same. Systematic meaning a way a plan has been running.
A
Systemic,
fixed plan too
yes,
at that.
a fixed plan has been running, and the systemic is a system that we're talking about. So you say the systemic system ran on this fixed systemic plan. That's what the difference of those two words. So I would ask you the same question. Your personal and private affairs, particularly if your life is on the line, who do you think would be the best lawyer? That white lawyer? She said the white lawyer.
Who you
Don't
gonna
copycat what she say. If that's your answer, that's cool. You say the Jewish lawyer, the white lawyer, the black lawyer. Who would you go?
Who you
I
gonna
would
call?
say call Sal.
Call better.
Ghostbusters.
No, I would say the Jewish, but I feel like I know they're relatively the same, the Jewish and the white, because they're both looked at the same perspective, racially.
But why would you say the Jewish lawyer?
I would say the Jewish lawyer. It's because of color to me, in my opinion.
Well, he's white like the white. The Jewish was white like him.
And I feel like they'll give a Jewish person, a white person, a quicker look at opposed to a black lawyer.
Based on the systematic system.
They're not gonna look too close or like fast at a black lawyer. Whole time the black lawyer is way better than the Jewish and the white combined.
All right.
But because years and years of them trying to, especially a black man, a black lawyer,
Or a black woman lawyer.
black woman, both, women don't get enough credit, but
Yes.
both black women and black male lawyers, they can do better of a job, but because of the color, that unfortunately the system looks at them like, oh, they're not up to par, so let's just go automatically to the Jewish or the white.
Yeah, good answer. Now, here's my answer. And I want y'all to think about this. I'm going to give you the actual reason why certain lawyers win more cases and others don't. And it's a simple thing what deals with nepotism. See, the reason that white lawyer is winning a lot of his cases, it ain't that he do more work than the black
You
lawyer.
have to explain what nepotism is. For
Nepotism is like
Yeah.
favoritism amongst family, but it could be amongst people that's not family too. But the actual definition is when you're showing favoritism on a job with family members.
Meaning I can get the job just because my dad works there.
Yeah.
It's
Now-
called connects.
Yeah, so exactly. And like what you said, the Jewish lawyer, the white lawyer, see, they have the complexion. Let's be ignorant for a little bit. Let's be naive a little bit, right? They have the complexion for the connection. Silliness in this systemic system that we live in that's ran systematically. like a fixed plan. All right. So here's the actual answer, my answer, which I happen to know. This is actually it. It ain't that the white lawyer or the Jewish lawyer is better than the black lawyer. No, that's not the case at all. What the real truth is that they're not going to tell you is that the white lawyer goes to lunch every Tuesday with the judge. The white lawyer happens to be the godfather of the judge's grandson. The Jewish lawyer happens to go play golf with the prosecutor. The Jewish lawyer gave the judge criminal nephew, a job at his company. They couldn't find a job nowhere else. Both these, the Jewish and the white lawyer, somehow they have a personal, and I mean personal, relationship with the judges and other judges. So therefore, when you see them in the courtroom, they're doing a systematic thing, a fixed plan. They make it look all good, that they dotting all their I's and crossing all their T's, but it's already a fixed bag already in the plan.
It's already in motion before it even is in motion.
The judge and him, wink, wink, we got this in the bag already, John. Hey, Tom, don't worry about it. We're going to make it look good.
I truly think that's really foul for a person that's fighting for their life, and whole time that person can be fully like not guilty.
Yep.
And
but
just
the prosecutor,
innocent.
But let's say this person you're talking about is innocent.
Yeah.
But the prosecutor that's prosecuting them is, like I said, he's the godfather of the judge's grandchild. They have a personal relationship, and he want this guy to go down.
And that's not fair at all.
And guess what? 9 times out of 10 is going to happen. Prosecutor's going to win that.
Yeah.
You have a personal, that lawyer, the white lawyer, the Jewish lawyer, they have more. Now, sometimes it's the black lawyer got some
Can I just
connections.
say one thing? I just want to cut in back to systematic oppression because of what you're saying. Because he's saying, you know, the judge and the prosecutor might have their little, relationship already.
Often.
And little relationships like simple, like they go golf together, right? Or go play tennis together. Where do you not see tennis and golf courts at, right? So I'm already raised in an environment where that's not even around me. So that I'm already being raised in a systematic oppression society because I don't even have, access to these things.
Yes.
Correct? Right.
Mm-hmm.
So now when I get around a group that has all these lacrosse and all these sports and all these things that I don't even have access to, never had, we already part of different two worlds.
You know what you made me think about you about?
What?
The SATs.
Yeah.
When she was in high school, I remember you came home with that. You know what you remind me of? That was that episode on Good Times when Michael was fed up with the school curriculum. And they was getting on Mike, because Mike was real intelligent, like yourselves. Mm-hmm. And he said, but Daddy, those questions they asked they don't make sense. And he was like, how can it not make sense? And he explained how they were asking systematic, meaning a fixed plan that ran. He said they was asking systematic questions that pertain to white people in suburban areas. Yeah. Like they was like when you came home back in the day, you said on the SATs, they was asking questions that was dealing with lacrosse. Average kids in urban area don't play lacrosse, don't know nothing about lacrosse. Therefore, they can't answer the question. But like Michael said on Good Times, he said they gave that same test to white kids and they asked them all questions dealing with urban areas. Like they asked them questions such as, where's the mailbox in the projects? Or, whatever, how much money you spend on groceries, knowing y'all live on a very low income. Most of the white kids fail because this is not your environment. See? Mm-hmm. So once again, we back to the systematic, fixed example. And therefore, people get such typical, they get quintessential answers. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's okay. No, I just want to say, all the laws, all of that, systematic oppression. It's not designed for black people. Yep. None of it. None of it.
Systematic.
So, exactly. So as soon
as
I step in the courtroom, even as a prosecutor, I'm defensive against everyone because I have to defend my case.
And it just makes it super hard for
this whole
a person of color.
This system is designed against me.
True.
Not for me.
True.
So my odds are already hard as it is.
And you were saying?
No, I was just saying that it just makes it harder for a person of color opposed to a person of favor as in white or Jewish.
Yeah, now we're dealing with facts here. We're not saying that because when you deal with that systematic, a fixed plan, ran in a systemic system, you know, then you have to take all those variables and make sense, because the white lawyer is no better than the Jewish lawyer, and neither is better than the black lawyer, nor is the black lawyer better than them. But if you really have to see who do the real hard work, you will in most cases find out which lawyer really doing the due diligence, because more than likely the black lawyer, he got to work that much harder because he ain't got that connection, the complexion for the connection, or he's not the godfather of the judge, grandson, granddaughter, whatever the case. You know, he don't have all those connections. When he's not invited to the Christmas dinners, he's not invited to the sweet 16 of the granddaughter. That black lawyer is not invited to all those personal events that's going to help his actual law practice.
You know exactly.
Whereas the Jewish and the white lawyer are invited to personal events.
Exactly. But you know what? Some people would say, to this day, say, well, time has changed for us. You know, it's a lot much better that we're living since before back in the days. But it hasn't changed. It's gone worse.
You know what that
than
comes
what
down
it
to?
is.
That very old axiom, meaning an old saying, an old accepted truth. It comes to that saying that says, so much has changed, so much has stayed the same.
I've never heard that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is a good point, because you got people, even our own people, saying, oh, things have changed for the better. We're living much better than back in the days. No. Now the racism has been hiding and not showing, not being an open door. Now we don't know what's going to hit us right in our faces.
I remember I watched an old mob movie back in the days, and they wanted to get the mob guy off. And it was like, man, he's facing definitely guilty charges. How could we get this case thrown out? And they were trying to come out with some type of plan. They paid the lawyer off, threatened the lawyer, whatever. They paid the lawyer, They paid the judge off big time, right? But the judge can't just go in there and say innocent. So what the judge did while they was doing the case, he purposely did a major boo-boo that'll get the case thrown out. So what the judge said when they was doing the back and forth, the prosecution, they cross-examined and all that, the judge said about the defendant, the mob guy, he said, the judge, he said out loud, he said, come on, let's get this case over with already. We already know he's guilty. I mean, come on, let's just get, just by saying that, they said we're not going to get a fair case. But it was all planned. So when you say things have changed, more they stay the same. See, and this racist crap that systematic system we're dealing with. And that was a ploy where that judge knew this how I could get it off for you. I'm going to go in there and make a boneheaded blunder that's going to get it thrown out.
So question, what was your reasoning for asking us this question? What is your whole goal in trying to get out there to your subscribers?
I just love people to think, and I love people not to make such quintessential decisions. Remember, quintessential is just a big word meaning typical. Don't be so typical with your answers, because you got to really do the homework and say, wait a minute, why is this lawyer winning all his cases? Why is this one winning all his cases? Wait a minute, why is the black one not getting as much cases? Is he not working as hard or what? Or he just don't have that connection? And matter of fact, yes, I did see before the court proceedings, that lawyer came out of the judge's chambers. What was he doing back there? They got a personal relationship.
And I was just saying, like looking like subjects like this and topics, I feel like in general you should have a quintessential mindset. You shouldn't have.
Thank you.
A quintessential mindset.
Don't have typical. Don't be so typical. You gotta have your mindset thinking with back in the days when your teacher told you to do your homework.
Yeah.
You know, get your facts right. Don't be prejudiced. Remember, prejudice does not have nothing to do with race. Prejudice means you passing judgment on something without getting your facts. So, like you said, what made me come up with the subject? I like to do different subjects and make people think. I like to give subjects they go, that was different. Mm-hmm. Because even this topic here, I'm sure most people, especially if your life is online, you be like, man, I'm gonna get. People love to brag, especially the drug dealers back in the day, all them gangster books I read. They love to say, I got Mr. Goldstein, the Jewish lawyer. He's the best lawyer and such and such. No, he's not. He got connections. That's all that is. Matter of fact, he probably don't even be in court. His paralegal is doing all the work. He's not even there. It's like, but now he done made the connection with the judge and made some calls, and guess what? His paralegal gonna show up and do all the work. That lawyer ain't even gonna be there. It's like slam dunk in one. That's how that white lawyer and that Jewish lawyer is slam dunk in one. It's like, I'm gonna call the judge and tell him what we're dealing with, and we're gonna get this all set up in this systematic fixed plan, systemic system that's ran on a systematic plan. We're gonna get this all set up, and all you gotta do to my paralegal and my other partner, just show up to court, it's all taken care of already. You're like, what? Literally, that's how I go down a lot of times. It's all taken care
So
of.
that's in general, not just in a courtroom, but in life too. Like getting a job because you know the boss or you know their family members.
Oh, that touched on my other video. I titled it, Who Do You Know? Just that. It comes down to how you get the job. How you get this job? You ever been to a job site
That's
where
how you talk
they got
about-
the most boneheaded person they know? How did Joey get the job? They knew somebody.
Just like if somebody had a college degree, but that person had a college degree, but because they knew the person
Who you
who
know?
got the job.
Good video. It's titled just that. Who do you know? Hey, so on that note, in closing, as always, do your homework. Go out, go look for more positive videos. We know there's a lot of negative nonsense out there. That's why we try to put positive videos out there. Nothing to do with racial stuff. We just put positive stuff and stuff to make you think, but stuff to also make you not think so quintessential.
Quintessential.
Typical. Anything in closing?
Yeah. In closing, I would just like to say, if you still don't know which lawyer to pick, just don't do any crimes, guys.
Oh, wow. That's good. What about you? That was a good one. Don't do it. You don't want to do the time. You can't do the time. Don't do the crime. And on that note, peace.